Welcome, brave travelers. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to walk through the shadowy halls of a haunted castle, or stand where ghostly apparitions are said to roam? The hair on your arm stands straight up. Your gut tells you to get the hell out. But your curiosity, it pulls you in. That's where we come in. Today, we're diving headfirst into the world of spooky travel, visiting the most chilling, hair-raising destinations from around the globe. We're talking about the kind of places that make your heart pound, your palms sweat, and leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. These are the places where history and the paranormal collide, where restless spirits linger, and the veil between our world and the next wears thin. Are you ready to face your fears? Let's go. Our first stop takes us to London, England, home of the iconic Tower of London. This isn't just some old building, man. This place has been standing here for over 1,000 years, a silent witness to some of history's darkest chapters. Kings, queens, prisoners, you name it, they've walked these halls, and many of them never left. Not alive, anyway. We're talking about beheadings, torture, wrongful imprisonments. This place has seen it all. The energy here is heavy, oppressive, like the weight of history is pushing down on you. It's no wonder that people claim to see the ghost of Anne Boleyn wandering the grounds, still carrying her severed head. Can you imagine the sheer terror in her eyes as the executioner brought down the axe? Legend says the tower's infamous White Lady can be seen waving to onlookers from a high window. But here's the creepiest part. When she appears, people claim they smell roses in the air, followed by an overwhelming sense of dread. Why roses? Some say it's because she carried a prayer book made of rose petals. Others believe it's a way for her to mask the stench of death that clings to her. Whatever the reason, that smell of roses, it's not a good sign. It means she's close. Standing here in the shadow of this ancient fortress, it's easy to believe the stories. You can almost hear the screams of the past echoing through the stones. This place is a beacon for lost souls, a vortex of negative energy that's hard to shake off. Even the ravens here give me the creeps. Legend has it that if the ravens ever leave the tower, England will fall. They're bound to this place, man, trapped here for all eternity, just like the spirits that haunt these walls. I'm getting out of here. Beneath the bustling streets of Paris lies a labyrinth of death, the catacombs. Imagine this. Over 200 miles of tunnels stretching out beneath the city like a giant skeletal hand, and within those tunnels, the remains of over 6 million people. Skulls stacked upon skulls, femurs arranged in macabre patterns, all lit by flickering gas lamps that cast long, dancing shadows on the walls. The air down here is thick, heavy with the dust of the dead. You can almost taste it, feel it coating your lungs with every breath. They say that when Paris ran out of burial space, they started bringing the dead down here. Millions of bodies, moved from cemeteries all over the city, brought here to rest for eternity. Visitors report hearing whispers in the dark, even when no one is around. And some swear they've seen shadowy figures darting between the walls, gone as quickly as they appeared. Are they just tricks of the light? Or are these the spirits of the departed, unable to find peace even in death? Would you dare explore these tunnels alone? I'm not sure I would. This isn't just a graveyard, man. It's a mass grave. A city of the dead, lying silent and still beneath the bustling streets above. The energy down here is palpable, a constant oppressive reminder of our own mortality. You can feel the weight of millions of souls pressing down on you, their energy mingling with yours. It's enough to make you want to scream, to run back to the surface and never look back. But something keeps you rooted to the spot. Maybe it's the sheer scale of it all, the overwhelming vastness of death that surrounds you, or maybe, just maybe, it's something else, something that wants you to stay. Nestled high in the Colorado Rockies, the Stanley Hotel stands as a grand and imposing reminder of a bygone era. If this place looks familiar, that's because it inspired Stephen King's The Shining. Yeah, that's right. This is where the madness began. King and his wife, Tabitha, were the only guests at the hotel, which was about to close for the winter. They stayed in room 217, and that's where King had a vivid dream about a possessed fire hose chasing his son down the hallway. The rest, as they say, is history. But the Stanleys' haunted reputation goes back even further than Stephen King. Guests report hearing ghostly piano music playing in empty rooms, and visitors often wake up to see shadowy figures standing at the foot of their beds. Some say it's the spirit of Flora Stanley, the wife of the hotel's original owner, F.O. Stanley. Flora was an accomplished pianist in her own right, and her ghost is said to still play her beloved Steinway, which is located in the hotel's music room. Room 217 is particularly infamous. Guests report their belongings being mysteriously moved, lights flickering, and, get this, a friendly ghost tucking them into bed. Friendly or not, that's enough to keep me up all night. The energy here is different than in the other places we visited. It's not as overtly negative, but it's definitely there. You can feel it in the air, a kind of electric hum that sets your teeth on edge. It's like the whole place is alive, pulsating with some unseen force. Maybe it's the ghosts of former guests, still lingering in the halls, or maybe it's something more primal. Whatever it is, the Stanley Hotel is a place where the veil between our world and the next feels thin, almost non-existent. It's a place where anything feels possible, and where even the most skeptical mind might start to believe. At the base of Mount Fuji lies Aokigahara Forest, shrouded in mist and legend. Known as the Sea of Trees, it's a place of profound sadness and beauty. The air is heavy, silent, except for the wind whispering through the trees. It's a silence that's deafening, oppressive, like the forest itself is holding its breath. This place has a tragic history as a site where many have come to end their lives. Locals say the spirits of the departed wander the forest. Visitors report hearing unsettling cries in the distance. The trees here are gnarled, twisted, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. The forest floor is covered in a thick layer of moss and fallen leaves. If you visit, tread lightly, and show respect. This is not a place to be trifled with. The energy here is heavy with sorrow, with regret, with the weight of countless lost souls. It's a place that will stay with you long after you leave. Our final destination takes us to Xochimilco, Mexico, home to one of the creepiest places on Earth, Isla de las Muñecas, the Island of the Dolls. Imagine this, a tiny island, hidden away in a network of canals, its trees adorned with hundreds, maybe even thousands of decaying dolls. Their eyes are vacant, staring out into the world with a mixture of sadness and malice. Limbs are missing, heads are cracked, and cobwebs cling to their tattered clothing. It's like stepping into a nightmare, a horror movie come to life. The story goes that the island's caretaker, Don Julian Santana Barrera, found a little girl who had drowned in the canal. Haunted by her death, he began hanging dolls in the trees as a way to ward off evil spirits and appease her restless soul. Over the years, the collection grew, fueled by Don Julian's grief and perhaps a touch of madness. Locals claim the dolls' eyes follow you, and some even whisper at night, their tiny voices carried on the wind. One thing's for sure, this is not your average tropical getaway. The dolls themselves are creepy enough, but it's the atmosphere of the island that will really get under your skin. It's quiet, eerily so. The only sounds are the rustling of leaves and the gentle lapping of water against the shore. But even in the silence, you can feel it. A presence. Something watching you, observing your every move. It's enough to make your skin crawl. Some say the dolls are possessed by the spirits of the children who once played with them. Others believe that Don Julian's own spirit still lingers on the island, tending to his macabre collection. Whatever the truth may be, Isla de las Muñecas is a place that will stay with you long after you've left its shores. It's a stark reminder that sometimes, the line between reality and nightmare is thinner than we think. And there you have it, some of the world's most haunted destinations. We've walked through the shadows of history, felt the chill of the unknown, and come face to face with the unexplained. Whether you're a thrill seeker or a skeptic, these places offer a spine-tingling glimpse into the paranormal. So, tell me, Which haunted spot would you dare to visit? Or better yet, which one would you never set foot in? For me, it's a constant battle between curiosity and fear. But that's the beauty of the paranormal, isn't it? It forces us to confront the unknown, to question our beliefs, and to acknowledge that there are still mysteries in this world that science can't explain. Until next time, fellow adventurers, stay curious, stay brave, and keep exploring the unknown. You never know what you might find lurking just around the corner.